Now, over the past week in multi-tool land, everybody's been talking about the Leatherman Wave Alpha. But at $200, who needs all that noise when I can score 4 DeWALT MT20 multi-tools for that same price? And recently, I asked you guys to vote, and over 1,000 of you did, and 79% of you said you definitely wanted to see how this compares to other multi-tools. And right away, I can tell you there's 2 things that this DeWALT brings to the table that the Alpha does not. And so we're gonna be taking it for a spin, comparing it to other crazy high value options and a few Leathermans throughout the process. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in and have some fun. Now, the 2 things that the DeWALT does better than my Alpha is that it comes with a rigid, actually pretty good quality button snap nylon sheath that holds the tool, and it has not only a vertical pass-through, but a horizontal pass-through for your belt as well. And then it comes with an actually pretty good removable pocket clip. Like, there's some density there. It really holds it into place so you can choose which type of carry you want. You don't have to spend any extra money. The Alpha just showed up like this. No pocket clip, no sheath, no nothing. And I'm gonna have to spend extra to carry this tool on my person and not just sling it in my pocket. Let me know what you think about Leatherman, nickel and diamond us with some of these new tools. So with that, the MT20 has some super cool styling, you know, photos with some guys like, dude, I definitely use this on the job site every day. I don't know why it's called the MT20. It doesn't have 20 implements, it has 12. So that's very confusing, kind of weird. Not the end of the world, but it's just goofy. Now, it has 2 implements on the exterior body. Let's take a look at what those are. And check that out. I can wrist flick open that blade. And we got a pretty aggressive sheep's foot tip, you know, so you're not going to be like stabbing tons and tons of stuff, but look at that, boom, right away. Lots of draw cuts, very easy to do. I like that. Okay, that's definitely seeing some good use right there. I am going to say that that is a gradual hollow grind, which I don't really have. I used to like absolutely hate hollow grinds. Oh yeah, look at that. It's not the end of the world to me anymore. Now, all I annotate in, I did not see even what the claim steel is on this blade. So, boink. Yeah. And we have just a basic liner lock right there. You can see it's wedged all the way over to the side. And then if I just kind of do like a slow open, yeah, it'll hit like dead center right there. So, I mean, nothing to write home about, but it's doing its job. Now, it did take a little digging, but I did figure out that the blade being 3 1/8 of an inch long, which is a lot of reach, that's the larger side of blades for multi-tool, is made out of 440 steel. It's a basic stainless steel, easy to resharpen, doesn't hold its edge very long, and it's on par with like 7CR steel that you would find on most other like Chinese-made multi-tools. So basically, for the price and what it is, it's running right there competitively. I would argue that the 420HC on Leathermans will work a little bit better, get a little bit finer edge. I just like using that steel better, but it's not a bad choice, especially for the price point. Now, there's one attribute to this model, the more and more I've used it, that is almost unprecedented. And I own dozens of Leathermans, dozens of Gerbers, dozens of Chinese knockoffs, and I haven't really found another one outside of the Alpha that can compete in this one area, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But it is time to tell you guys about the sponsor of today's video, which is Bear Watches. Now, I've been wearing these watches from this American company for going on a year now and taking them on all kinds of adventures, and they just keep on ticking. And they're well known for their quality, automatic and solar powered watches, many of which are assembled right here in America with their US workforce. But you don't have to break the bank to get yourself a high quality, iconic styled field watch from their S series, which start at under $200. And you're still going to get Japanese movement with a screw down lockout crown, protecting it from water intrusion, giving you that 100-meter waterproof rating. You're going to be getting a sapphire crystal face and so many other features, including their quick release band system. So without any tools, you can swap between different bands depending on the environment and the activities that you're doing, along with different face designs to choose from. It's a great way to get your foot in the door into an iconic design from a well-known company. Now, maybe field watches aren't your thing. They have dive watches, all sorts of different styles, and coming out with new ones all the time. And so I'm gonna have a link popping up. It's in the description box below where you can start exploring all the different options that Ver Watches brings to the table. And if you subscribe to their newsletter, you can get 10% off your first purchase, just making it a great choice, especially as we get into the holidays, to either gift to somebody or gift to yourself. Okay, so I'm noticing something, guys, right away. This is slightly more ergonomic than my Wave in this way. They have machined and raised this piece right here, and so the shoulders are actually like more rounded. There's just less sharp abruptness on either side. Now, I mean, it's still a freaking hunk of metal, whatever, but the Leatherman Wave doesn't even come close. The only tool that I can think of off the top of my head is the Alpha that is pretty close in ergonomics, partly because there's only 2 implements on the exterior, but they have rounded all the shoulders. There's no sharp abruptness, which takes a little bit of extra time, even when you open up the tool. It's kind of mind-boggling. No other, like budget-friendly option, even that we're gonna look at, comes close, and you're gonna have to spend quite a bit of money to find ergonomics that match up with this DeWALT. Keeping it locked up. Okay, then if we flip it, we got a good size saw. Dude, look at that. That's just notching it up. Dude, I'm gonna go right through this thing. Now, I only ever use a saw if I'm like doing a notch, really, or if I have to like saw off a little edge. But, I mean, I guess if you were stuck somewhere and this is all you had, you could get some branches down if for some reason they weren't coming off. There it is. Look at how clean that is. That's not bad. Wow. It is spring-loaded on those pliers, and we do have replaceable teeth. So I'm always like a little on like sub $50 items. I'm kind of like, where am I even gonna? Maybe DeWalt's got a really good system. Where am I even gonna get replaceable teeth for this? We got, I think this is 16 gauge wire. We'll go through that. Boom. Do that a couple times. And boom. So that's good. We got 20 gauge threaded wire right there. Yep. Nothing to complain about there. Yeah, I mean, there's no deforming. And there is a little notch back in there for, I think that's, I always forget which one's the hardened one and which one's not. Okay, now kind of the moment of truth. How does it hold up to a hanger? Will it cut a hanger? Without breaking the teeth. That looks good to me. So any basic utility hasn't caused any problems right there. Happy with that. Now for extra implements, on one arm we have a mini flathead and a can opener, and then we have a larger flathead and a bottle opener, and then we have a cord cutter or seatbelt cutter that I was actually really surprised with. Oh, that was pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Those are the implements on one side, and they do have a lock-back design, so they are all locking. And then on the other, we have an awl, and we have a Phillips head driver that's not removable. It's not a bit. So now that we've run through that, pricing, some of these competitive options, and let's really kind of unpack this. Now, I believe that there are 3 implements that could have been changed to actually make this more useful for the average person. The first is, though the safety cutter is interesting, I think a file would have been a much better choice. There's no file on this. I think a lot more people would use a file than a safety cutter. Leave a comment if you agree with that statement. So that's the first tool that you're gonna be missing out on. Second tool is scissors. There's no scissors on here. I know a lot of people, myself included, especially since I do fishing and stuff, and I think this would be great to like throw in a fishing kit, throw in your center console of your vehicle, put in a backup go bag. You know, sure, drop $200 on an Alpha as your main multi-tool, but have a few backups. You could buy 4 and deck out 4 vehicles or 4 bags and cost the same amount. So just not having scissors, and I think we could have easily gone without the awl swap the awl for a pair of scissors. That I think would have really helped out a lot. And though the Phillips head works totally fine, it doesn't have a bit driver to be able to handle 1/4-inch bits that most other Chinese, replicas, clones, whatever you want to call it, of all these, multi-tools now usually do have that. So that would have been a nice touch, especially at $50. That's the going rate for this multi-tool is $50. I feel like the build quality is there. From my mileage, your mileage may vary, but I mean, from my experience, that's what I'm seeing. I bought it on sale for $40, so I would say it's a great $40 tool. $50, I don't know. We're starting to get into like some definite competitive options. I would say, because this would be a great gift item. You're walking through, the hardware store, the holidays are coming up, a birthday, you want to gift to somebody, whatever. They may not recognize some Chinese knockoff, brand, but they would recognize DeWALT and just feel like it's a better quality tool. So I think for like a gift like that, if you're looking at this compared to at sporting goods stores and hardware stores, the Gerber Suspension NXT, this is definitely a better tool than that. I mean, like build-wise, from my experience, and just kind of the layout and the materials just seem to be better there for it, and some of the sizing, the blade access, stuff like that. So really, it comes down to this last one, and I'm going to have links for all this stuff, guys. So we're talking about the Alpha, the Leather, or the DeWALT, these, courtesy of my friend Dominic at Max Level EC, hooked me up with this one. This is just a random one. Guys, it's like a wave, or excuse me, it's a Surge Charge knockoff with Hamonde Wave. I believe it's 9CR 18 MOV or 14, I can't remember, but I mean, it's on par with VG10 steel. It's ginormous. It's heavier and has way more implements, has like replaceable razor blades that it comes with. It does come with spared bit teeth, like right out of the gate for that. So you have that huge blade, you have massive scissors, you have a safety cutter on a serrated blade. I mean, it does have a sheath with bit kits that are 1/4-inch for those drivers, and just so much more. And so this thing is wild, and it's $40, guys. So honestly, unless you need this for like convenience, or you just trust DeWALT, you want to give to somebody who owns a bunch of DeWALT tools, whatever, definitely something like this gives it a super solid run for its money, and something you should consider. But I'm thoroughly impressed, and when some of the comments were like, I don't know about that, I'm digging it. And if you find it on a deal or it's an emergency gift, I think it's definitely worth a second look. That's me and my mileage on the MT20. Appreciate you guys hanging today. Make sure to stay tuned, and don't forget about our Patreon giveaway. If you're not yet on Patreon, we're giving away 3 items of 3 random winners on October 21st. So if you join before then, you'll be good to go. And anyone who joins and supports, you're going to get free merch. Gideonstactical stickers just dropped and just launched, and we've been shipping those out to our supporters over there. So appreciate all you guys who support. Until next time, remember, thanks for voting. Appreciate that, and giving me the idea for this video. Subscribe. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.